Hey everyone, it's Lisa Bongean from Primitive Gatherings, and I'm here to introduce another one of our monthly minis. Now this series of monthly minis, I am honoring my mother and her sisters and my grandmother, Evelyn, and we are getting near the end. This one is called Linda. I'll show you it here. And Linda is my mom's youngest sister. Now I remember my Aunt Linda getting married, and my Uncle Pat and Aunt Linda lived on this beautiful farm here in Wisconsin, and she had beautiful flowers and vegetable gardens, and then my Uncle Pat had a souped up Chevy Nova, so it was pretty exciting to go to their house. They had all kinds of cool things out on the farm for us to have fun with and to get in trouble with, and I learned a lot about flowers, and I think part of my love came from seeing how beautiful gardens can be and what you can do with them. Okay, so there we got a nice picture of that, and the quilt behind me is an antique. So if you love this technique, you can be able to do all kinds of things with a 60-degree triangle. And that's what this quilt is based on, a 60-degree triangle. Now this quilt was made by my friend Pooja. I sent it to her. I'm like, hey, can you make a mini with your fun shape? Because she loves the 60-degree triangle. And then I got it back, and then I had to play with it. I don't usually use this shape, but one of the things that I want to talk about is first of all, that we do have a kit for it, and I don't remember the price, but it comes with the backing and everything you need for the front and binding along with the pattern. Or if you just need the pattern only, we have that available, and you can use your own fabrics. Now what you need to make this quilt is 2 creams. One has a colored print on it, and then one has like a tone on tone, or this could be a solid. So 2 creams and then 1 dark print that we need a 1/2 yard for. You need 3/4 of a yard for backing, and the 1/2 yard for the color includes enough if you want to put a colored binding on yours as well. So you have those options for you. So I'll set that aside. Now I do want to point out that when you open up your pattern, there's some fun things in here. One of them is it's got templates in it. So this one here is the cream that doesn't have the print in it. So she has labeled those with a different color, so you know that you would never cut the light with the print on it. This is the more tone on tone one here, or the solid. So just so you know that. Then if templates aren't your thing, I will do templates, but if I can get away using a ruler, I'm going to use a ruler. So this is a 60-degree ruler, and you may already have one in your collection of rulers, and you by all means can use this. So when you're cutting out these pieces, you would just put your ruler on there, and it would tell you what size you need to cut. And I have put a little chart here saying these are the numbers that you would want to use your 60-degree triangle for. All right? And then there's also some of these half ones here, these little end ones. Now, if I was going to do this, I would make these whole and then just trim them off. So you can make these, or this template could easily be, where is that one? A full-size template. I had it here a minute ago. All right, so if you didn't want to cut this down here, this one is what I mean. So you could use a full-size one instead of this, and then you would sew it on and then trim your quilt straight at the edge. So a couple of options, however you want to do that. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut out all of the shapes that you need according to the directions that Pooja has done for us, and I kind of just played around a little bit. I did a little pre-sewing here. I kind of just show you that. And you can try 1 or 2 before you cut into your real fabric if you want, but I'm doing all the testing here for you because I've done it using all of the templates. So you have these little corner ones here as well. So all I have left to do, I'm going to stitch together one of these, a light triangle here. So you have a dark one. This is dark ones. And then this will be the light one here. So I have cut out a couple of them to play with so I can show you how to line things up. But other than that, this is pretty simple. Even though you might have never worked with this 60-degree units. All right, I'll set that there. So now when I first piece this little row together here. All you do is right sides together, like that. And when you put these units together, you have some points showing, and it should always be like a 1/4 inch showing, and then one triangle point should match up perfectly. Now, because I just flipped this 2 or 3 different ways, I have to put it back to make sure I stitch it together the right way. All right, there we go. Nope, that goes this way there. Need that flat piece, the points on the bottom. There we go. See, flat, 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 flat. Points on the ends. All right, so I'm going to lay those 2 right sides together like I just showed you, and I'm going to stitch down there. And this right here is where my stitch line should end up if everything is cut right and stitched correctly. Okay, so now if you've seen on my blocks here, I opened up everything. I like it when things lay flat, and it's going to be much flatter if all these seams are pressed open. So all I'm going to do is give it a little finger press here, and then hit it with the iron, turn it around here a little bit. I didn't set my iron up correctly, and it shut off. Hopefully I can get it to come back on quickly. All right, so then I just kind of lay it right back where it was, make sure I didn't sew it wrong, like I think I just did. Oh, here we go. Nope, I sewed it right. It's a little confusing. You'll know what I mean when you do this, so that's why you just got to be careful. All right, so now these 2, and I have my little 1/4 inch there, 1/4 inch there, and this one here lines up perfectly. No, I just don't trust myself. All right, so that way, okay, this side. Finger press it open. Back in that spot. Now I'm going to sew these 2 together. Lay them right sides together. And those triangles, that's why don't cut any dog ears off yet until we're done. So that matches up perfectly. So here's a little close-up. So you see how this runs right in that corner and right in that corner. Press it open again. One more. So see, by leaving that on, and I place this right there. Okay, now I got to add that top unit to that one. I got to make sure I do it right. Okay, so we're going to line that up. And I should have a 1/4 inch sticking out on both of those. Now I could trim off those dog ears if they are in your way. So look at how perfect. I got my nice 1/4 inch there and there as well. I always check it before I press it. All right, so there is one of the triangles that you're going to be making, and you're going to be making 2 different versions. This one is a light one, you're going to be making a dark one as well, and then the corner ones. But nothing is harder than what I just did here for you right now. So I hope you have fun with the 60-degree triangles. They are super easy to sew with, even though they might be different than what you've ever done in the past. And if they could do it way back in the 1880s, we sure can do it now with all the fancy tools that we have. So this is kind of another, like I said, another version of the pattern that we are showing you today. And like I said, this one is called Linda, and it is available on our website if you want to download it. It's also available as a download if you just need the pattern. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.